Hi everyone, it's Scott here and welcome to this lesson. In this one we are going to look at the tools and software that you're going to need for this Oculus Rift course. So the three links are linked in the course files for this lesson, and the first one is the Oculus Development Kit, or it's actually the PC runtime. So head on over to https://developer.oculus.com. Really, you just need to type in developer.oculus.com or follow the link provided, and this brings us to the developer section for the Oculus Rift. Bear in mind that at this time, which is we are in September, middle of September 2015, and because the Oculus is still in beta mode, they are constantly bringing out new updates and new changes. So whenever you watch this, there will more than likely be a newer version. However, the process should be the exact same or very similar. So on the developer.oculus.com website, you just need to grab yourself the PC runtime. So give that a click and click on I have read and agree and click on download, and that will start to install the Oculus runtime. Now I'm just going to cancel this because I have mine already. It's important to note that whenever you go to install it, you should probably unplug your Oculus Rift, which is always a good idea because the next time you plug it in, it will then automatically detect the Rift. Okay, and if you are running Windows 10, or if you are using this version 7 runtime, it's important just to scroll down and look at the new release notes, because they've made quite a big change in version 7, and I would say that in later versions, version 7.1, 7 or 8, so on and so forth, the notes will probably be the same regarding drivers. So there has been a big change in the way that they handle their drivers with NVIDIA and AMD cards. So at this point in time, it recommends that you download the latest beta driver for NVIDIA or for AMD Catalyst. So whether you're running an NVIDIA graphics card or an AMD graphics card, you will need to download and install the drivers as well. And I've tried doing this without the drivers and it does not work for me. And just to bear in mind as well, I am on Windows 10 and it works fine. Whenever Windows 10 was released, there were a few issues, but not anymore. It actually runs quite smooth. So you will need to install the Oculus runtime and the drivers as well. I would probably recommend installing your drivers first, restarting your computer, installing the Oculus runtime, restarting your computer, and then your Oculus Rift is ready to rock and roll. At any point, if you have issues with running the Oculus runtime or the drivers, just send me a message and I will get right back to you. So that is really the hard part, and it's not even overly hard either. The next thing we need is our game engine. So like I mentioned, we are using the latest Unity 5, and it is important that you do run the latest version because 5.2, as it is right now, has first-party Oculus Rift support, and not just Oculus Rift, but it also supports other VR headsets as well, such as the HTC Vive and potentially the PlayStation VR or PlayStation Morpheus. So to get Unity 5, it's quite easy. You just click on Get Unity 5, and we want to grab ourselves the free personal edition. You choose a free download and run the installer. Now I'm just going to run through the download assistant here because it's slightly tricky. I'm just going to click on Next to continue. I accept, and you will want to install Unity version 5.2 or greater, the web player and the standard assets. These ones are optional. You can install the example project, but it's not necessary. And to save disk space, we also want to untick Microsoft Visual Studio as well. Notice that total space required with Visual Studio is just under 14 gigs. Without it, it is 6.3. So it's quite important. Well, it's really up to yourself whether or not you want to have Visual Studio Community installed. Now, because I have Unity already installed and it would be pointless for me to install it again, I'm going to go ahead and hit cancel. Bear in mind, when that's installing, it will also be downloading the software at the same time, so you will need an internet connection. So that's Unity, and hopefully you now have it installed. The software doesn't require a reboot of your system, which is good. And on to the final thing that we need. So head on over to detoxstudios.com, and this is where we are going to get our visual scripting plugin called UScript. And this is how we're going to be coding our short Oculus Rift game. And you have one of two options. You can either get the full version of UScript, which will cost you, I'm not 100% sure, it might be €100 or dollars, or it might be 200 now because it's just out of beta. Or you can get what's known as the Personal Learning Edition. So to grab UScript, you just need to go to Products, UScript Visual Scripting Tool, and click on Download. This is going to bring you to the current release, which was released on the beginning of September. And for the Personal Learning Edition, you'll want to type in your name, email address, and click Submit. You will then have a little tick box to hit and a download, and you will get a Unity package, which at this point in time you will not need to install, so don't worry about double clicking it. So just to recap over that, you have the Oculus runtime, you have your specific drivers, whether it's NVIDIA or AMD. Bear in mind that these are both beta drivers. Well, the NVIDIA definitely is. That's what I'm running. I'm not 100% sure about the AMD drivers. The second thing you need is Unity 5 Personal Edition, and you need the UScript plugin. And the only thing you do not install is the UScript plugin. If you have any problems, feel free to leave me a message and I'll get back to you. If not, I will see you in the next video.